All these people need help, and we'll be right back. In today's digital age, where cyber threats loom larger than ever, safeguarding your personal information is paramount. So why is Congress considering a law that could put your credit card data at greater risk of being hacked and exposed to foreign networks? This Durbin-Marshall credit card bill could jeopardize your financial data, make it more susceptible to cyber intrusions. It's a controversial bill that proposes a shift in billions of dollars worth of consumer transactions to payment networks that lack the robust security measures consumers rely on. Who could possibly want that? Well, the answer? Woke corporate megastores seeking to inflate their multi-billion-dollar profit margins. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill will undermine our safe and convenient payment systems and endanger your data security. It's time to take a stand. Visit electronicpaymentscoalition.org. Make your voice heard. Tell your senators to oppose the radical Durbin-Marshall credit card bill, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Time to serve
it up.
Welcome to Artesia Bulldog Volleyball on AM 990 and 93.7 FM KSVP and online at ksvptv.com. Sports on KSVP AM and FM and at ksvptv.com is presented by Artesia General Hospital, Bob Reed Pest Control, Central Valley Electric, Eastern New Mexico University, Pecos Valley Equipment, Artesia Animal Clinic, Artesia Credit Union, Presbyterian Medical Services, Artesia Ford Sales, Artesia Historical Museum and Art Center, Artesia Plumbing and Heating, Big O Tires of Carlsbad, Kane Electrical Supply, the City of Artesia Police Department, Coterra Energy, Deans Incorporated, Devon Energy, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, Smile Expressions, Edge Safety, Faith Baptist Church, Ben's Country Market, Morris Tire, Guy Chevrolet, H&R Block, Hermosa Church of Christ, HF Sinclair, Moppin and Brown Dentistry, Tate Branch Dodge, Hawker & Sons, KFC, Incredible Printing, J.S. Warden Son Insurance, J&J Home Care, Richland Motors, Roswell Seed Company, Trustmark Roofing, Amigo Machinery, La Fonda, Mac Energy, Pressure Services, Richland Chrysler Dodge.
They'll help you consolidate or settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe. With Debt Blue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved. There's no risk. The more you owe, the more Debt Blue can save you. See how easy it is to get started with free information. Let Debt Blue show you how 10 minutes could save you thousands. Call now. 800-200-6895. That's 800-200-6895.
I'm just living sky high right now. I'm very thankful for it. And the team at Debt Blue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-200-6895. 800-200-6895.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
Mark Levin, bringing the family together every night around the radio.
These children are in need of an education.
The Mark Levin Show.
KSVP AM 990 and 93.7 FM.
Mark Levin, the thunder on the right. Call in now, 877-381-3811.
Matt Lee is a fantastic reporter at AP. I think he's been there about 120 years, and he's going at it with this guy, Matt Miller, who's just another one of these State Department spokes idiots. And they're going back and forth over a Palestinian consulate in Israel, probably Jerusalem, even though it's all Israeli territory in their country, and the Israelis say, no, we're not going to permit a Palestinian consulate, and yet this administration and other Democrat administrations have been trying to pressure Israel to do it, and Israel said no. So that's part of the debate that you're going to hear. Legislation that addresses this issue, that is legislation in Congress, which would support the state of Israel. I mean, it's their country, after all. It doesn't belong to the rat's nest of anti-Semites at the State Department in this administration. So anyway, even putting the substance aside somewhat, if you want, take a listen to this. This guy's good, this Matt Lee. Cut 20, go.
Can I just follow up briefly on your response on the consulate? What's your view on whether on the legality? And you probably don't answer legal questions per se, but it's legislation there saying that the U.S. can establish a consulate. It's a diplomatic facility. Obviously, Israel has control over land, etc. But does the U.S. have to abide by this?
You're right. It's a legal question that unfortunately I'm unqualified to answer. I don't know the answer.
So first of all, that's not Lee. That's some other fool. That's some reporter. Does the U.S. have to abide by legislation that says there will not be a Palestinian consulate? It's a legal question. Tough one, I guess. Go ahead.
Policy grounds.
Well, considering the U.S. government, previous administration actually closed down the consulate, is it it's your understanding that was just a decision by one administration? It's not binding on you. You want to reopen it. They say no. So if they're not going to let you reopen it, would you consider requiring Israel to shut down one or more of its consulates in the United States?
So, first of all, you're right. The previous administration made a policy decision made a policy decision to shut down that embassy.
That's not an embassy. It's a consulate. Go ahead.
I'm not going to talk about what our potential response. We're not considering any such step at this time, but we've made quite clear to the government of Israel that we oppose the bill.
Well, yes, okay. But do you regard this as some kind of an infringement on your, I mean, where the consulate was, or the building still is in Israel. So it's not in the Palestinian territory. Would you consider opening a consulate, say, in Ramallah for the Palestinians?
They open a consulate in Ramallah. I don't even know what that means. The Palestinians open their own consulate in Ramallah? Anyway, go ahead.
Now consider, we want to see, we continue to believe it's important to open a consulate, but I don't want to get into what we may or may not do.
Well, so you oppose the legislation, and yet it is Israel, it's their territory. Right. And I don't think that the place where the consulate is located it's not contested. It is in West Jerusalem, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. So it's theirs, and they can tell you that they want you to have this consulate open there or not. But and there may be legitimate reasons for not wanting to have a consulate that is dedicated to serving the Palestinians in Israel, right? Yes?
Well, they can speak for themselves to what their reasons may or may not be. We disagree. We disagree with their decision to prevent us from opening one.
Why is it so important, other than the historical nature of this?
The historical nature of it is important. That is an important one.
Yes, it is. But other than that, is there a reason that a consulate for the Palestinians couldn't be opened someplace else?
I don't want to get into previewing what we may or may not do. I will tell you, as of today, we'll continue to provide engagement.
Shut up, a-hole. Rambling buffoon. So the Israelis say, we're not going to have a Palestinian consulate in Jerusalem or anywhere else in our country. Do you guys have some consulate that another country or another organization can set up in your country? Not without your permission. And that's what the AP report is getting at. It's their country. What are you going to do? You're going to threaten them? Anyway, I just thought you'd want to hear the back and forth, the inanity of the Harris-Biden regime, and that's what it is. It's a regime. Now we want to play for you a little montage of what these Democrats have been calling you and me, from garbage to deplorables. Be a little hard to hear at the end. Obama, cling to guns. They really hate your guts. And so it seems to me you owe them a crushing defeat on Election Day. Something has got to drive people who aren't voting early or not voting on Election Day to stand up for themselves, don't you think? Cut 14, go.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. They're racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
People have been beaten down so long, and they feel so betrayed by government.
So it's not surprising then that they get bitter. They claim to guns or religion or...
Yes, you're clinging to your guns and religion. That's that part. Mm-hmm.
Like that, right?
That's enough. Barack Obama's on Al Sharpton's radio show. Talks about Trump has made a career out of demeaning people of color. This is amazing. So he's on Al Sharpton's radio show. Al Sharpton, who has a history with Jewish people in Crown Heights, among other places. And so Obama goes to Al Sharpton. What is Obama? I mean, Obama, he parachutes in. The guy's worth tens of millions of dollars. He's got mansions all over the place. He has nothing in common today with young black men. Nothing. Zero. He lives mostly with older white men. I'm being perfectly honest with you. Or in their neighborhoods or around them. There's nothing in common. Cut 11, go.
When it comes to the African-American community, Latino community, people who historically have been on the outside, you have in Donald Trump somebody who consistently has shown disregard to people who are not like him.
How so? I really want to know how. Tell me one way that he's done that. When he was a businessman, you know, Donald Trump has hired more black people and given them jobs and pensions and medical care in building the skyline in New York and elsewhere than any of these people attacking him. Any of them. Obama hasn't lifted a finger, and he didn't as President of the United States, to improve the lot of black people, whether it was school choice or 100 other things. But they just throw these things out. Hitler, fascist, racist, made a career out of demeaning people of color. No, he's never made a career out of demeaning people of color. In fact, people of color came to him for criminal justice reform. They'd begged Obama. He didn't lift a finger. They begged FDR to eliminate lynching inside a federal anti-lynching bill, and he wouldn't do it. Donald Trump signs a bill, shepherded through the Senate and the rest of Congress by Tim Scott, to create over 8,000 opportunity zones where enormous investments are made by the private sector and, yes, government to get people on their feet and to improve these certain communities. Over 8,000. Obama didn't do any of that. None of it. People of color. Donald Trump doesn't like illegal aliens coming into the country. He doesn't care who they are or where they're from. He doesn't like criminals in our streets. He doesn't care what color they are or where they from or they're homegrown. He believes in law enforcement. He's tough on the law. These things that Obama says on Al Sharpton's radio show of all play is really disgusting. It's disgusting. He's trying everything. Go ahead.
You know, I don't have to tell you. This is somebody who.
You don't have to tell who? Sharpton? Why? He has his ear to the ground? Is that it? We go to Sharpton for input on somebody's character like Donald Trump? Is this serious? This is a clown operation here. Sharpton's radio show. Anybody even know he had a radio show? No, I don't think so. Pathetic.